Lots to see
Join
here.
us. Two
Who's
bald men doing a podcast. Just ignore us.
the Two Ball Guys podcast? It's like, look,
Mm,
now it's hard for them to tell us apart.
the 2BG.
Yeah. Hey, look, I forgot to change my name. I do so many shows now. I have to change my name.
You're so popular
I'm
that you get
populous.
lost in what your name is. Yeah.
I don't even know who I am until I turn on the studio. There I am, the podcast king.
TPK.
Shout outs to Mario.
TPK. Isn't that some pizza place in like the old mall?
I think so.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
What am I seeing? Who is that?
Cactus some guy. It came from the McDonald's
I
adult Happy
love
Meal.
Cactus some guy.
He's great, right?
Yeah. It came from the adult Happy Meals.
Hell yeah. It didn't come with a beer
Damn.
though. That was kind of whack. But
So what's the happy part of it?
I think I just showed you. It comes with a toy. Like, hello, get out the way, little kid. This
I
shit
was
is for me.
I was told they came with dildos.
Look, I didn't get that package,
And then I was
but
corrected and told it was a McDildo.
it was a that's really Grimace. It's okay. We're not gonna judge him. Everybody likes who they likes. It's one
Just because
thing or
he's
another.
purple doesn't mean that that's what he's used for.
I mean, but most dildos are purple.
Them bonus beats.
Shit, yeah.
I was just Googling it, and it seems that most of them, the preferred color is long and white.
That's probably
Oh,
false.
wait.
That's false
That's
information.
exactly wrong.
That's false information. Look, I happen to know from some sales reports,
Some sources.
some sources, uh, that's probably false information. I don't know. I mean,
Well, I
maybe
Googled it on my
Trump
Truth Social.
Trump supported internet situation. Yay!
Yeah.
I'm going to be subpoenaed to court this week.
That guy.
Mhm.
Today is True Stories.
It is. That's true. I
We're
got one
playing-
right.
Yep. We're
I'm
playing.
ahead.
Well, you got the other part right too.
Yeah, I got 2 points.
Yeah.
Look, is
Oh
this
yeah.
the guy? Is this the guy from when I first read the title, I thought it was the guy from Inglorious Bastards. Um Hugo Snigglewitz.
Hugo Snigglesworth.
Is that his name? Snigglesworth?
Hugo Snigglesworth. Yep.
I
He's
don't
from
think it was
Inglourious
Hugo
Bas-
Sniggles. It was Snigglesworth?
Snugglesworth.
No, it was not Snugglesworth. Hugo from go ahead, keep talking. I'm trying to figure it out. Snigglewitz.
Hugo Snugglesworth.
Hugo from Inglorious Bastards.
Bandy
Gal?
Purple Dildo.
Sergeant Hugo Stiglitz. That's who it was.
Yeah, this is not Sergeant Hugo Stiglitz. This is Ignaz Semmelweis.
Are they cousins?
Yeah, first
Okay.
cousins.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ignaz Semmelweis, so-called Semmelweis.
I'm fine. I'm just having a beer.
It's
I'm having
Semmelweis, yeah.
Semmelweis.
Close. But that can help you pronounce his name.
Stiglitz.
Stigglewitz Gamgee.
Stiglitz. Yeah. Look.
Yeah. No,
Okay, so
Semmelweis.
Semmelweis, like
Yeah, that's
Similac.
not him. No, like Samwise with an L, like Samuel L. Wise.
Samuel Weiss. Hugo Ignaz Semmelweis.
Yep.
I say it right there. Right? Ooh,
Ignaz Semmelweis.
I almost call him Hugo again.
Yep. That is not him. He's on the next slide. There
Boy,
he is.
ooh, look at the what kind of fade is that? God dog.
That is the high and tight.
That is the it's high for sure.
High and tight.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Mr.
let me get
Semmelweis there.
let me get that Semmelweis next time I go to the barbershop. God dog.
Yep.
What year was this?
This is so he was born in 1818.
Ooh,
He's a Hungarian physician and
mm.
scientist. He's the fifth child out of 10 childs out of the prosperous grocery sales family.
That's their last name was grocery sales?
No, 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 Semmelweis.
Ah, so
Yeah,
there was
they
a
were.
store in
Mhm.
Hungary called Semmelweis Smart.
Semmelweis Mart. Yep,
Ooh, did his daddy
yep.
have that
S
haircut?
Mart for short.
S Smart. Yes. I bet they got seafood over there.
Yeah, and shotguns.
I think I
You,
shopped at that place in the country.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. It's like bait, shotguns, and cheap beer.
S
What else
Smart
do you need?
at the Brookshire Brothers.
Yep, shop smart. Shop
Oh my
S
God.
Smart.
I'm sorry.
The
That's the worst haircut that we've had on the show to date.
I don't think it's a haircut.
Who? How do you know it's not a style? Did you look it up?
No, I spent zero amount of time referring to his haircut
So
because
you don't
this
know.
because
You don't
this
know.
dude is going to turn out to be a great dude. You're really going to like this guy, even though you're making fun of his haircut now. He
So
probably
what you're
makes fun of.
saying is you don't know shit about 8th, 17th, or 19th century Hungarian fashion. Is what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay, that's cool. I just want you to hold yourself
Hmm.
accountable there.
No,
Ready
that's
for the
fine.
next slide?
No. So he went to med school at the University of Vienna, and he became an
Mm.
assistant to the professor. Okay,
Hey,
so
professor.
he excelled in med school.
Hmm.
In today's terms, that means right out of med school, he would have become the chief resident. Okay,
Was that
he
Doogie Howser?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh shit,
His duties were to examine patients
Duty.
each morning in preparation for the professor's rounds. He supervised difficult deliveries,
Okay,
and he taught students.
big-headed
Um,
babies.
yep. And he was the clerk of records, so he took notes and detailed everything that was going on. Okay.
That is that's a lot of stuff for a doctor to do.
Yeah, yeah. He took a lot of notes. So at this time in the world, you got to realize that infanticide was a widespread practice, which had been throughout human history. That was a. Do you know what infanticide is?
I was just like it went in my brain, and I was like, "What about a fantasy?" And then it was like, "No," he said
Mm-mm.
infanticide,
Nope.
like a pesticide for infants.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Actually, yes. Its purpose was the prevention of um. So in
Spermicide?
No, its main purpose is the prevention of resources that were being spent on weak or disabled children. So, in order to help you in life, you couldn't have these unwanted kids because they had some form of disability. So, infanticide was,
Oh,
um,
it's like what they did in 300 in the pit when they
oh, yeah.
judged the babies. Like, oh, like this one
Mhm.
has a toe.
Yep.
Ah!
Unwanted infants were normally abandoned to die of exposure. They just left them out.
This thing gonna
Some
just cry.
societies, like Hungary, they deliberately killed the kids.
Wow.
This is
The,
the mid 1800s.
and you sure that's not a haircut? If they're out there, they're just killing babies because hey, you had
So I know you keep hating on his haircut, but this guy's going to be called the savior of mothers
he's got these
if that
sideburns,
helps
man.
set up that he's the good guy.
Okay, so he's not with the infanticide.
No, he's actually anti-infanticide,
Yeah, that seems like a good drink for Fanta.
anti-infa.
The anti-infanticide movement.
Yep.
Oh boy, I know someone who'd be really angry about this, but then I know some people who'd be like, "This is exactly what we were supposed to do." But anyway, this is not here nor there. Let's not have that political discussion right now. I'm gonna sip my beer and look at this
Sure.
picture.
I mean,
This lady's got boobs.
Semmelweis will argue the same thing, that this should not be a political discussion. It's absolutely a health discussion. Most
It is.
Stone Age human societies routinely practice infanticide. Estimates of children killed by infanticide, 15 to 50% up until
Jeez,
this point.
this show took a dark turn. I can't make jokes about killing babies.
No, but we're getting, so this guy's a savior, okay? So infanticide continued in common societies, ancient Greece, ancient Rome, Phoenicians, China, Japan, Australia, Native Americans, Native Alaskans, and it finally became forbidden in Europe near the first
1960.
millennium by the Christians.
Oh, the Christians.
The Christians
They
were the first to ban infanticide. Um, And so, in order to set up an anti-infanticide movement, they had to set up maternity institutions.
what's that?
Eh,
An orphanage?
yeah. So instead of killing these unwanted children just because of a disability, they
Not the
went to
orphans.
they went to a maternity, and they had to find somebody to take care of the maternity, or to the children to work in the maternity, and so they had to find somebody who could work for very cheap.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You
Guess who it was?
Slick Willie with the haircut.
No, so he's in these hospitals.
Oh, he's already there. Immigrants.
Nope.
Witches.
Yep.
Really?
Well, it depends on your definition of witches.
A nun?
It depends on your definition of nuns. They will help you see Jesus.
Hey, whores.
There you go. Yeah. Yes.
I got it. It's whores.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
answer is whores.
Yeah.
Whores.
Yeah.
Whores will take care of the unwanted children.
So many maternity institutions
And
hired
why
local
is
prostitutes.
prostitution not legal? These women are taking care. So you're telling me
Mhm.
without pimps, we would still have infanticide right now?
Atta girl. Mm-hmm.
Sweet James, say my name, selling cocaine out of candy thing. Hey, sweet pimp. Shout outs to the pimp.
Yep.
I keep closing the door and Sterling keeps. Oh, you're not on to be on the show, Sterling. This
He
is
wants
about.
to know.
It's about
needs-
pimps. This show is about the glorification of the pimping game. You know, shout out to Cat Williams. You know,
So you'll notice on the next slide that
oh,
the
sorry. got-
prostitutes of Europe, not moonlighted but daylighted,
Can't we just call them
as
employees?
the employees.
Okay, employees. It sounds
So
better.
they worked there at night, made their money, and then during the day they took care of kids.
I
I don't
just
know what to-
noticed the image. Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! I'm sorry, Cactus. Take over the show for me. Oh my God! Oh Lord! Oh, she's looking for a good time, sweetie. I gotta go home and take care of my kids. No,
Your kids. I got to go home and take care of your unwanted kids.
Wow. Did she get to keep her money or did she have to spend it on the kids?
I don't know.
It's a
So-
trick right there. This is all about pimping, baby. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
So
keep going.
here's where we're going to come back to Semmelweis. Remember that
Mhm,
he's the
mhm.
one. He's the doctor. He's making the rounds. He's the
He's the pimp.
he's in the hospitals, right? Now, here's
Can you
about
send me time out? Can you send me that picture so I can make that the background on my phone? The picture to the left.
yeah, I'll send you all these pictures. No problem.
Oh, greatness. Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry.
So in the facility, they alternated days. There was a first clinic and a second clinic, a first clinic and a second clinic.
Wait, what?
And
Is that like a night shift and a day shift?
No, it's like a day shift and then a day shift and then a day shift and then a day shift.
Oh, so the hoes had PTO so they could get some time
No,
off.
they did not. No, the hospital alternated shifts. They happened to work at the hospital.
So that the
Those
hoes got no days off.
Well, they also worked for free. They worked for free in exchange for being tested, prodded, having scientific experiments done on them by doctors.
So a pimping gang really wasn't paying them back then. Is what you're saying? Maybe
I don't.
because they had no pimps. Maybe that was the problem. They didn't have enough pimps in Hungary.
I love where you're focused on this story, but they are not the focus.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will Google Hungarian pimp. Continue.
Yes. All right. So at the hospital, the entire staff alternates days.
Okay,
Okay.
so it'd be different people
There's
day on
there's
day.
a first clinic, yes, and then a second clinic, and then a first clinic, and then a second clinic. So if you got sick or hurt or were having a baby, you went up to the hospital, and depending on which day you walked in, mattered which doctors were taking care of you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay,
Now,
okay. I
Mr.
don't.
Semmelweis, who's taking notes,
Hmm.
realized that more than 15% of mothers were dying during the first clinic as they gave birth. Less than 10% were dying in the second clinic. In fact, so many people were dying, so many more people were dying during the first clinic's operating hours and not the second clinic's, that the maternity ward started refusing to come in on the first clinic because they didn't want to be there, and they'd come in on the second. And there were some women who preferred to give birth in the streets
Whoa.
instead of coming in for the first clinic.
Wow. Who was running the first clinic? R. Kelly and Frankenstein?
So, trying to figure out what the differences were, looking at his notes about what was going on, because they had the same equipment, they had the same procedures, they had the same education, everything. During the first clinic, those doctors were practicing on cadavers.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
During the second clinic, it was all teaching and training for the maternity, and all of the people, all of the prostitutes who were coming in to work in the maternity ward. They would come in on the second clinic to learn, but then on the first clinic, it was all the doctors and all the doctor students coming in to work on cadavers, dead
Oh,
bodies.
so they're ready to cut people up.
True, and it is how even today people work on learning the trade, right?
True.
You work on, you donate your body to science, and this
Hmm.
was not uncommon, and that wasn't the practice. But what Semmelweis realized was that the instruments they were using on the dead bodies in the first clinic were the same ones that they were using during the surgeries.
Really?
So they were not cleaning the
Oh.
instruments.
Oh. So they just passing out all kind of stuff, nasty.
Yeah, but they didn't know it.
Ooh, because nobody knows at this point.
They didn't know it. Yeah. So the ancient Greeks had a term called dyscrasia, and basically an unhealthy person. The disease inside them was interpreted as a disproportion of bodily fluids in
Hmm.
the four humors. So over there on
Yeah.
the right, this was broken up into phlegm,
Yeah.
blood,
Whee.
yellow bile, and black bile.
Hello.
These four things kept you healthy. That
Yes.
was phlegm,
Phlegm. Yeah.
blood,
Blood.
yellow bile,
Yellow bile.
black bile.
Black bile. What is black bile?
Yeah, exactly. So they thought that these were the things that kept people healthy. And when there was an imbalance, they would do things like give you leeches and drain your blood to help
Oh
balance the body.
yeah. I saw that. Grandpa Simpson used to try to put leeches on people when they would get sick.
It's
Makes sense
definitely
now.
Grandpa Simpson. It's over here on the right. These conservative doctors had this old training and they had no interest in believing anything other than that. Okay. These
Mm.
scientists and progressive, these
Mhm.
effing
Mhm.
liberals were doing
Mhm.
experiments and discovering things called germs.
What in the hell? Germs.
And all of these political conservatives
Ooh.
refused to believe in something that they couldn't see.
That sounds
except
familiar.
except for
The,
the religion that they believed in.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
guy.
but germs, no way. That's stupid.
That's
No
stupid.
way.
You just need less black bile, so we need to take the black out of you. Like, what is black bile? I don't even want to go. Look, I googled Hungarian pimp, and you don't want to know what I found. It's
Mm-mm.
horrible.
Yep. So the history books are pretty clear. Like Semmelweis had many brothers, and they were all part of a widespread protest on civil rights. Like somehow they were protesting civil rights then, and we're still doing it today, but they were doing it then. So go back one.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, which one
Well,
is the
I guess
back
that's
button?
fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Ah!
Yep, that's fine. All right. Yep. Hygiene's good.
Ah!
I'm going to teach you how to use that. All right. So the
I shouldn't be driving drunk.
the science wasn't even about the politics, but they affiliated Semmelweis, anybody who was trying to go against the code that they had in the medical profession,
Mm,
as an affront to their politics, and they turned it into politics. Semmelweis refused to catch up with politics and just kept posting his data. He
yeah.
started talking about hygiene. He's like, when we clean things, when we process things, people the he got the
So
death rate in the maternity ward on his shift below 1%.
nobody dies on Semmelweis's watch.
Correct.
Not with
People
my
he
forehead.
started publishing, he started calling them out. They refused to believe what was going on, and he started talking about hand washing and cleaning your utensils. Every facility around the world that was picking up on what he was saying started implementing it and seeing the results, but people were still refusing to do it. And he was calling them killers,
Hmm.
and they claimed that it was a political bout that he was coming with, and he proclaimed that he was not political. He was trying to kill germs, but they're like, hand washing is a liberal hoax.
Oh
We're not going
God.
to do it,
Mm,
and they refused.
mm.
And it was a long time later
Hmm.
that they finally figured it out, but not until he started going crazy, yelling and screaming and throwing fits and publishing more and more about what they were doing
Yeah.
and calling them out.
Hmm.
And they finally put him in a straitjacket and had him committed.
Are you serious?
Hmm.
What?
Yep. They committed him for publishing these documents that said that they were wrong, that he was all about germs and hygiene. Within 2 weeks of being locked up and beaten, he
Oh
got an
God.
infection
And died
and died.
because it wasn't sanitary with the beating instruments that they had. Dude, that's whack. What kind of straight jacket is that? Like, what is that?
It's
You
probably
like
a Houdini thing that I grabbed from
dun,
somewhere.
dun, 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 dun. That's whack, dude. Like, so he died to save us from germs.
Yep.
Oh, that's this show took a turn that I was not expecting.
Hmm.
So
I made it
Semmelweis,
political. I know you like the political.
that's the thing. Like, it's exactly what you would see in life. This has been the most awkward show as my dogs have walked in and out of this room like 22 times.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, this is crap. But did he like get credit for anything?
Oh, he's got tons of credit now. He's
Mhm.
totally the savior of mothers, but he wasn't then. He is credited for why we wash our hands and how we recognize that we needed to sterilize our equipment, and why anytime you see doctors go in and they scrub up, Semmelweis.
Semmelweis, that guy. Look, I feel bad for him because like
He's
there's nothing named after him. Like, is there like a Semmelweis procedure or like is that called the Semmelweis where you like, like he got no
I don't know.
credit? Does anybody
No,
know
I
about?
didn't
Do
find
they teach
anything
about
about
him
that.
in medical school?
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Oh, Semmelweis. That's sad,
Semmelweis
bro.
procedure.
This show took a really sad turn.
Did
Like,
it? Oh.
yeah, like I can't make jokes about killing babies. Like this is like what am I supposed to say? Like, oh, I mean, I had jokes, but just it didn't. It just
Hey, this is about Omi D learns, not Omi D tells jokes.
Omi
Mhm.
D has feelings, and infanticide.
I
All those.
wanted you to learn that less than 150 years ago, hygiene was laughed at and considered a liberal hoax.
Oh, I thought you said less than 150 minutes ago. I'm
Mm-mm.
sorry. I thought. I thought
Did I say minutes? Years.
no, I thought either way it goes sounds the same to me. If you look at things go, but once again, this is a very interesting show. I'm gonna say this has been the saddest show that we've done.
I'm sorry. I thought
Anytime
it was fascinating. I thought it was
hold on.
interesting.
I
Yeah.
didn't say I wasn't fascinated, but there's this part in the middle of the show where everybody's like, they were just killing babies for no reason. Like, I'll just see like old Hungarian Hitler, like, with like a pacifier and some baby powder, and just like,
Well, they didn't want to deal with people with disabilities. It wasn't their thing. They weren't interested. It was a burden on society.
I wonder how that turned out for them. Well,
Well, we
they're
don't do
dead.
that anymore.
They're dead now, so what can we say?
Hmm.
I like it,
Hmm.
but so yeah, this was yeah. I think I'm gonna go and do.
Sanitize your eyeballs.
I'm gonna definitely go sanitize some stuff, and y'all make sure y'all tune in next week. Go check us out if you didn't subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down there. We
Mm-hmm.
appreciate all your subscribing. Eventually, they'll pay us money. And
I'll have a much more livelier version of something next week. Anything, I promise you. Sorry
it's
about
not.
that. I thought it was fascinating. I
It
wasn't trying
was
to be morbid or.
fascinating. It was fascinating. There's just, like I said, there was just this part where I was like rolling, and all of a sudden it became all about killing babies, and it just became this thing where I was like, "That's weird." Um, you know, it's okay. Like it's this has been a fascinating 2 weeks of my life. As my father just walked in here and like
Awesome.
looked over
Hey,
my
Dad.
shoulder. He's like,
What's
"Hey,
up, Dad?
what are you doing?" Podcast. It's like,
I'm
oh,
hanging out with my white friend.
I'm hanging out with my white friend. It's like, what is he talking about? Stuff on the internet. It's like, yeah, there you go again, son. Anyway, we catch y'all next week. We out.
Bye.
DJ Omi D.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Go home.